Hello friends and welcome back to the channel for the Autumn of Agony week number 1. We got this Jabari Panther here and I'm going to walk you through how I completed all 3 objectives, starting with Prowler, who is for the objective for a size medium and control denial champ. Now, I think Prowler is probably the best overall champ for this objective, one of the best champs for this fight in general, and the reason for that is that he is immune to falter. So one of the nodes on her is a node called Diversion. You can kind of see that falter timer that's ticking down on her. So every 15 seconds, if you are close to her, you are going to get faltered for 8 seconds. And if you're far away from her instead, she's going to get faltered. So being immune to that effect allows Prowler to effectively ignore that node completely. Just one less thing to worry about. There are a bunch of things to try and pay attention to, so not having to worry about the falters is really nice. Now the other timer on her is from a node called Scrubbed Clean. So every 16 seconds she's going to gain an indefinite cleanse, and you can reset this timer and prevent that cleanse by using your 4th light attack. So anytime you finish a combo against her, you really want it to be with that 4th light attack in order to prevent her from getting one of those cleanses. And the reason you don't want her getting cleanses is from another node called Second Wind. So whenever she cleanses a debuff, whether it's from that permanent one or from one of her natural cleanses, she's going to gain a damage reflection passive that is going to send back 50% of the damage dealt by you. Now, in addition to the debuffs that your select champion might be dealing naturally, you also have to worry about Special Burst Lockdown, which is a node that whenever you use a special attack, you're going to trigger a pair of debuffs on her. So you really want to try and do your best to avoid using your special attack when she has one of those cleanse passives on her. If it's one of her temporary ones that she gets from attacking into you, you can just do a full combo into your special attack and that will be enough time to get rid of it. However, if she does have one of those permanent cleanses from that timer, you really have no choice but to use a special attack, trigger that damage reflect, and hopefully your special attack doesn't do enough damage to kill you. The good news is that you have staggers on you from a node called Staggering Beauty, and this is going to enable you to more or less keep your health topped up via the Willpower Mastery. So if you don't have the Willpower Mastery unlocked or you aren't running it for whatever reason, highly recommend you spend the units to unlock it and activate it for this fight. It is a lifesaver. You don't need all 3 levels. I only run 1 out of 3 willpower full time. That's plenty enough for this fight. But you can see, like, I took a couple hits earlier in the fight here, and we've already topped ourselves back up to a yellow bar. Now, when it comes to Prowler in this fight specifically, I found that the normal way of playing him, where you want to apply that Incinerate debuff and then throw your special 2 while it's active, found that really tricky to do. So I'm just trying to play more around the nodes rather than around like his ideal playstyle. So making sure to end my combos with a light attack to refresh that cleanse timer, and then when I have a special 2 available, I'm refreshing the cleanse timer with a light attack and then going into a double medium or a medium combo ender in order to trigger the falter on her, and then throwing my special 2 in the falter, which I will do right here. So I fired off my special 2, and then because the falter is paused during your special attacks, you kind of have a free opening right afterwards if you can catch her with a stand-up intercept. Now, one thing you do need to pay attention to, not just with Prowler, but with anybody in this fight, is that Jabari Panther, when she is made to miss, she will gain those Huntress charges, and if she gains 10 of them, she's going to trigger a node called the Hunt. And if she triggers the Hunt, she cannot miss, and you cannot activate the Dexterity Mastery. So if that icon that she has there, which is gray and purple, if that gets up to 10, it's going to switch to purple with a gray middle, and that's going to be the Hunt. And while she's in that mode, you cannot dex her special 1, you have to block that spear at the end of it. And then if you have the falter on her, she cannot hit into you, or the falter will just not work. She will hit your block, or she will actually just hit you straight up. So you really need to pay attention to that. Another annoying thing about that is that even when you're dexing her to like bait out a special attack, the dex and the miss trigger at the same time. So a dex with the falter on her will still count as Huntress charges for her, which I think is kind of cheap and really annoying. Because you want to use the falter to your advantage to get openings, but you're kind of also punished for doing so. So here we go. We've medium back into the special 2 here, and that is that for Prowler. Again, a really straightforward fight with Prowler. Alright, so moving on, let's go to the X-Force objective. There are a lot of really strong options for this one. You can use your Danny Moonstar, you can use your Sunspot. I went with my rank 2 Storm here, who I figured could be good at just ending this fight as quickly as possible with some big special 2s. I didn't want to really use the special 1 since it has those shock debuffs associated with it. Now, one thing I didn't really think of when I was attempting this with Storm is how the Staggering Beauty node was going to interact with my prowesses, because the prowesses for Storm are buffs, so that stagger debuff is going to eat the prowess the longer I stay close to her. Now, that said, even with a few prowess, as you can see, Storm Special 2 does like mega damage. So you can, just stay patient with it. And even with, 6, 7, 8 prowess, you don't even really need to get up into double digits. You can easily get her down in like several Special 2s here. Now, really, really important with Storm that you do not trigger the damage reflection before you use the special. So if she has a cleanse passive and you fire off your special, you're going to die instantly because her specials do so much damage. So there's one big thing. That happened on a couple of my previous attempts. Like I was at a full yellow bar, launched my special 2, she had just gotten the cleanse like a few frames before, and it immediately killed me. It was actually kind of funny. The other thing that you can do with Storm is after the special 2, again, assuming you're not launching it into a cleanse, you will have a stun available. So what I like to do is dash in with a medium, then do a light, and then do a heavy, which is actually going to pause her prowess buffs, and that'll enable you to hopefully stack more up for the next one. Now here you can see she managed to get one of those indefinite cleanses, and with Storm, when she does that, you really want to go to your special 3 because all of the damage from the special 3 will apply before that damage reflection passive is placed. So you throw the special 3, it does all the damage, and then you trigger the damage reflection passive afterwards, and then you can kind of just play a little bit casually. You don't have to necessarily, go full aggressive, full combo into her. Once that damage reflection passive wears off, you'll still be healing up from willpower via that staggered debuff and also that ensnared debuff. So, you don't have to do that with every champ. If you're using a champ who has like a low damage special 1, you can just fire it off and probably just heal up the damage anyways. But with Storm, again, you don't want to fire off your special 1, special 2 when it's going to trigger that damage reflection here. So right there you can see just how much damage Storm does, especially when she crits on that special 2. I think that was like a 200k or so special 2. So again with Storm, big bursts of damage. You have to make the most of your opportunities. Stick to the special 2 or the special 3 if she's got that cleanse on her. Now I think right here in a couple seconds I'm going to take some hits from a reverse intercept right here. And this is kind of an example of where the fight can easily spiral out of control if you let it. So here I'm faltered. And if you're faltered, you can't hit into her in order to reset the timer on that cleanse passive. Then she's got the indefinite cleanse, and then you need to go to your special 3. Then you get faltered again, so things can snowball with any champion in this fight very easily. So just stay patient. If she hits your block, I think she regens something like 700% of the damage. So you want to avoid that if possible, but sometimes it's not avoidable. And just stick with it, be patient, get yourself up to your next opening, which in this case, we're going to have to go back up to the special 3 here. Light combo ender into the special 3. And I don't think this outright kills her, but it's pretty close. Yeah, get there. We've triggered the damage reflection passive, so we're just kind of chilling here for a little bit. We don't want to hit into her too much. Dexing that. Or I thought she was in the hunt maybe. I don't know what happened there. Getting my openings here, and then I'm seeing that pretty much one more special 2 with a couple of lucky crits is going to get us the victory here. And again, I want you to notice that we haven't really had like a ton of prowess on us for this fight. So again, even with like fewer than 10, you still have plenty of reach with a rank 2 Storm to get this fight done. Alright, moving on to the third and final objective. It is a size small mystic with the Saga tag, and for this I decided to use Kushala. I actually tried for about 45 minutes to an hour with my rank 3 Enchantress, and I really struggled to get into a rhythm with her, and this is actually my first and only attempt with Kushala. Got it done on my first try, so I highly recommend Kushala if you have one. Again, similar to Prowler, you don't really want to play into her like her normal playstyle. You can't really get the blessings up, and mine's not duped, so it's difficult to keep them up anyways. So I'm really just focusing on damage here. You will get a lot of the intercept blessings up because you want to be intercepting frequently in this fight, but kind of what I'm doing here is just hitting into her and then firing off whatever special I have available as long as she doesn't have one of those cleanse passives on her. And for most part, she doesn't here. Backing off when the timer is about to go up for that falter, and then intercepting again. I think we get the Soul Barb on here, and again, that does a ton of damage as well. You can see, like, just, this is a rank 2 Kushala, by the way. Just the silly amounts of damage that she is capable of in the right matchup. And because of those ignition buffs, she can make almost any matchup the right matchup. Well, just a phenomenal champ here. I think we go for a second Soul Barb here, just because I was gaining like too much power. And yeah, she's just melting away, and we are staying topped up easily with those stagger debuffs via the Willpower Mastery. So again, similar to Storm, I'm just kind of paying attention to those indefinite cleanses. Now with Kushala, the damage from her specials is not a lot, so if she does get one of those indefinite cleanses like she just did there, it's not that big of a deal. You can safely use your special one because most of your damage is going to come from those incinerates after the special attack has finished. So I think I do that several times here. I'm not as strict about trying to keep the timer refreshed on that cleanse, just because I know that we can definitely heal up any damage from those staggers anyway. Yeah, this was a really solid fight. This was also the fastest, I think, of my 3 objectives. I think this is like a 3-minute fight. I might have had some light boosts running just for time, but yeah, I'm not like mega boosted like I would be for war or anything here. Falter on me there, so now again she's got one of the cleanses on her. We're going to go ahead, fire off that special one, and taking, was that like 10-15% of our health and damage, but close to the end of the fight. I'm not concerned about it. Not looking for a perfect finish here, no worries about that. Firing off another special one. She's in the hunt, so we need to block, or actually it ends right before we need to block the end of that special one there. And trying to get one more opening here. We have the falter on us, so we need to wait it out. And baiting out a heavy, oh, she double mediums into my block, and then we can go right into another special one. Losing more health from the damage reflection. Again, not a big concern here at the end of the fight. Let her hit into us while faltered. Combo into the striker, and then I think this special one pretty much does her in. It has enough incinerates that we can just continuously back off, and she's going to drop. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, please let me know in the comments below. Share it with your friends, share it with your alliance mates, and as always, thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.